Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy New Year. It is 2020. Can you believe that? It's 2020. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm so excited to start the new decade off with pork souvlaki. It's going to be our featured entree for the month of January at my little Greek restaurant, Opa Greek Taverna. We're gonna start with the marinade. In Greece, we use a lot of earthy flavors, a lot of olive oil, a lot of lemon, a lot of oregano. We're gonna start this marinade off with 2 cups of lemon juice, 1 cup of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of kosher salt, and some fresh ground black peppercorn. Excellent. A little bit more. To this marinade, I actually like to use this company called Cavender's. They make a fantastic Greek spice with some onion powder, garlic powder, dried thyme, dried oregano, all types of fun little herbs and spices in here. What makes this pop is some good Greek oregano. All I'm gonna do now is whisk all of these ingredients together. That smells so great. A cool little trick I learned when I was in Greece is actually making a rosemary brush for your marinade. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 sprigs of rosemary and I'm just gonna tie them together. And instead of using a marinade brush, I'm gonna marinate the pork in some fresh rosemary. So what I'm gonna do right now is just take this beautiful bouquet, set it in our marinade, and let it infuse all of those beautiful aromas. If you're gonna use bamboo skewers for your souvlaki, make sure you soak them in some type of liquid. I've seen people use beer, white wine. Really, you can just use water. That's just gonna allow the skewers not to burn when you put them on the grill. So right now, as you see, I just have them soaking in a little bit of water. An hour or 2 is fine. 30 minutes is fine for them to soak. Just, again, you don't want the tips to burn, the exposed tips of the bamboo to burn on the grill. So this is a completely optional step, but I am going to grab some bell peppers and get them out of the refrigerator, cube them up, and actually skewer them on the pork. Just add some extra flavor. If you like it, you can add it. If you don't have to. For the bell pepper medallions, you're gonna want to cut these guys into 1-inch squares. Just some simple cuts like this should work for you. And what we'll do is take out the seeds, this inner membrane part, we don't want that. We're also going to need to make some onion medallions for our skewers. The way I do that is cut the onion in half. And what you're gonna do is actually take out this middle portion of the onion. And then you're gonna take out about half of these. And on your outer one is gonna be a bigger diameter, so you're gonna cut these in thirds. And then the smaller pieces of the onion, you're gonna cut these in half. That way, none of the onion's wasted. The moment we have all been waiting for, the main event. I have here a gorgeous pork shoulder, also known as a Boston butt, a pork butt. It actually comes from the front leg, the front shoulder of the pig. And it may be boneless, it may be bone-in, it might have this one particularly is a bone-in. I really don't care to use a bone-in pork shoulder. It's actually a mistake when I purchased this. I like the bone-in whenever I'm roasting it, just because it adds the flavor. But whenever I'm actually just gonna be cutting and cubing all the meat up, the bone is irrelevant. In fact, it gets in the way. What we need to do is cube this pork shoulder. First thing first, we need to trim some of this excess pork fat. So just kind of clean this up a little bit. This can be a little time consuming, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. You don't wanna have like these huge chunks of fat on your pork souvlaki. Make sure you have a really nice, sharp kitchen knife. I'm using the Zwilling and Hinkle's Pro Series knife. I've been using these guys for about 5 years, and they're still just as sharp as they've ever been. A good set of culinary knives will go a long way, guys, so don't skimp for a cheaper version, because you get what you pay for when it comes to the hardware and the tools that you need to get the job done. If you just see how I'm just taking thin little slices on it like this, that's gonna help you just get that thin top layer of fat off that you need to keep off. You don't have to be like ultra OCD on cutting off this fat. Some of the fat, in fact, is gonna enhance the pork souvlaki, and it will grill off when we throw it on the grill. You just don't wanna have huge chunks of fat whenever you're taking a bite into your souvlaki. But you do want a little bit there just to make it juicy. Another thing is the meat will talk to you guys. Like, you're gonna see whenever you're working it, you're gonna see how it opens up and it tells you where to cut. See how I'm talking right here? There's like this nice layer of fat that's basically telling me to cut right into that. Separate this all out. See that? How it just falls right apart? Excellent. I just got the pork shoulder all cubed up. We're gonna toss it into our marinade along with the bell peppers and onions. Cover that and refrigerate it for about an hour. Before I add the pork to our marinade, I do wanna add just a little bit of the marinade on the side. And we're gonna use that to baste the pork souvlaki with. Add our little paintbrush in there. And let's go ahead and dump this beautiful pork shoulder into our marinade. Opa! I like to add the onion and bell pepper into the marinade because those flavors from the onions and bell pepper are just going to intensify the marinade and intensify the flavors, and vice versa. The marinade is going to soak into the onions and bell peppers, and it's going to intensify the flavors of the onions and bell peppers when they're on the grill. Guys, we have the pork souvlaki. It has been resting and marinating peacefully in our refrigerator. Now it's time for the tedious task of skewering all of these souvlakis. You just take off the saran wrap. When it comes to skewering any souvlaki, make sure you start with the protein. So a piece of pork, we're gonna do a piece of onion, another piece of pork, snake on a bell pepper, another pork, and I'm gonna try to get 4 pieces on this. Another piece of onion, and finally one more piece of pork. Now we just gotta do this a bunch more times and we will be set. Try to cut it as evenly as possible. That way it cooks as evenly as possible. Really important there. Hey, now that we got done skewering up all of our meat, the hard part is over. Now we can crack open a ice cold Mythos beer, go outside, be manly men, and grill our meats. Here's the thing, we're grilling these in January, but like, you're allowed to like fire up that grill even when it's wintertime. Like, don't be scared. Don't be scared to fire up the grill in the wintertime. Like, you don't only have to grill in the fall and spring. You can grill all year long. If you guys have not checked out any of my other cooking videos, I will put a link to those below this video. Make sure you check them out. Essentially, I want to release a new cooking video every month in coordination with our new chef-inspired dish at Opa Greek Taverna. Last little bit of knowledge bombs I'm gonna be dropping on you guys. It's just kind of give them a little squeeze, and that way they stretch out a little bit and cook a little bit more evenly. It feels so great to be outside, firing up the old grill, which, by the way, it doesn't really necessarily matter whether you're using charcoal or a gas-powered grill. It just matters that you're out here and you're getting it done. You're creating some amazing foods and practicing some awesome recipes.
You say I'm wrong, but I think I need it. You think that reason can make me stay? Just wanna feel me, just feel me breathing. I know this feeling won't go away.
And that, my friends, is how we make pork souvlaki. May I recommend a delicious European lager. Mythos is my go-to beer. 2020 goals, because it's like a brand new year, we got to have a resolution. We've got to get Mythos, if you guys are watching, to sponsor a awesome Greek cooking video. I think that would be so rad. Guys, try this recipe out at home. Fire up that grill, I encourage you. If by chance you don't want to go through all the work and labor that it takes to make delicious pork souvlaki, we conveniently have it at our restaurant for the month of January. We're gonna have it as a pork souvlaki platter, served with a choice of 2 sides. It's gonna come with 2 skewers of pork, some fresh cut pita bread and tzatziki sauce. We're also gonna have it as a pork souvlaki pita. We're actually gonna take off 1 skewer of pork, chop it up, serve it with a little bit of tomatoes, tzatziki, and onions. Fold it up in a pillowy pita bread. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Kostas Lazanis. Thank you guys for watching. Have a happy New Year's. Subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and we will see you guys in the next video.
I'm the shy type, so calm down.